When do society's expectations become too great for the individual, for the group? But really, life, first and foremost, is about your individual decisions. You should consider love, justice, empathy, and survival. First, there must be justice, okay? And then comes everything else, really. By the time you understand, you graduate past survival and empathy alone, it is justice. So this video is called The Individual Requirements for a Snake Society. What you must be willing to do and participate in order to survive. What your children will be required to do. Number one, a willingness to let your children be sexually abused. There are people right now who abuse children, and if you speak out against them, if they abuse your children, you will be screened out. When you consider the surveillance state, technology, drugs, the activities of mental health, the activities of political groups, controlled opposition, people who operate with impunity, who have old money. Once you have the money secure, your main concern becomes the women, controlling attractive women. So whatever you're attracted to, you secure. So over time, they are going to secure their ability to abuse children with impunity, and their process of selection is going to be perfected. Okay. Number two, a willingness to let your family's sexual behavior be controlled. Again, because once you have the old money and you're financially secure, you're on top of the game, securing women and securing the process are your highest priorities, right? You're going to control the behavior of women, which is key in securing the process of controlling people and having your way with them. Okay. Number three, a willingness to help kill whoever they say, however they want you to do it. Think in terms of the military draft. Okay, they can reinstate the draft anytime they want. Therefore, you are required to kill people the way they have told you to kill them, right? You go to the Air Force. You are, a grunt. You are cannon fodder. You're a part of a tank crew, whatever. The way they tell you to kill them based on the technology they provide you. Their reasons, their orders, okay, and their technique for killing, okay, the chosen method that you are required to do. So this also includes soft killing, poisoning, drugs, psychology, being accomplices, technology, etc. Next, we have a willingness to insult God, right? Ra is the true meaning of God, the highest form of principles and morality. The Bible doesn't really do a good job of defining the true characteristics of God. It just kind of has little stories. You have to really think about what does it mean for Ra to be God. But so that's why I put Ra especially. If you're not mature enough to accept that Ra is the true God, at least consider that you have to be willing to insult an all-knowing, all-powerful, and all-good God. Okay, which is pretty much what Ra is, and he is expressing that these qualities the most through this martial arts spirit that is intense and masculine, an intense masculine sun spirit that caused the civilization of Egypt to be great through their martial arts army, which at one point had 100,000 people. And of course, by that point, though, however, they had lost their way. But it led to that. A willingness to mislead people about these dangers and to assist with propaganda and psyops. This is no small thing. If you're telling people, hey, keep going, just drive fast that way, and there's a cliff there. Right? This is not a small issue. This is not something that's no big deal. This is horrible. Okay. Next, this includes helping convince people that peace and complicity is superior to mind, body, soul, spirit war. Remember, Jesus said, if you're a Christian, I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. Why? Because the people he's talking about will never allow for there to be true natural peace. They will always abuse people. They will always ask you to do things that are wrong. They will always leverage their ill-gotten gains. They will always offend God. So therefore it is repugnant. He says, look, don't think that I came to bring peace. That's fucking stupid. What are you, delusional? Take a look around. Of course, now it is a little bit more obscure perhaps, but it doesn't take very much to come to that conclusion. It doesn't take very much thinking. And certainly the more you think, the more obvious it is. So because peace ultimately contributes to evil, false confidence, right? Confidence, and suppressing the true consciousness and awareness. Where is that true A spirit of God? Next, to misrepresent the implications of sparring. Again, this is no small thing. This is the order. If you care about humanity, you really want the true order in place. You think about the implications of not giving these people their rightful places. Who would steal the rightful place from this person? It's way worse than stealing candy from a kid. It's worse than stealing all the meals from all the starving people on the planet. Okay? It's worse than that. Think about the long-term effects. Think about when it comes to administration and judicial decisions. Right? This is a serious problem to misrepresent the implications of sparring. Mental prowess is the most prominent aspect of sparring to the profane intellectual. Even if you're just a scientist, mental worthiness, mental preparation, mental repetition, okay, which leads to mental refinement, mental conditioning, continuous mental conditioning. When the master martial artist, so to speak, the Sun Temple, isn't working out, right, isn't doing physical training, which requires mental training, mind, body, soul, he is living it. Martial arts is a lifestyle. So it's continuous mental conditioning, not mindfulness as Western culture teaches you to do in its more sophisticated form, which is the left, okay? The technology, the studies, the science is more on the left, more associated with the left, okay? They're mindful. You know, let me take a perfect shower. Let me make my clothes just right. Let me focus intensely on that activity versus I'm continuously thinking about martial arts in a way that refines my mind naturally and in a more effective, focused, and intense manner. Continuous mental conditioning. Okay. And of course, the maturity, the honor, and we'll get into this momentarily. Our willingness to be immature and dedicate your life to them. Okay, it is immature to go along with this system, not to mention all the sissy, weirdo, bitch shit that takes place that is associated with this system. All right. They that can control the culture control the market. Ultimately, this leads to controlling sexual behavior. All eugenics is a scientific push to more effectively control sexual behavior. Excuse me, that's my refrigerator. Okay. Through agencies of social control. So all eugenics is a scientific push to more effectively control sexual behavior through agencies of social control. The beginning is profound enough to start over. They that control the culture control the market. Ultimately, this leads to controlling sexual behavior. All eugenics is a scientific push to more effectively control sexual behavior through agencies of social control. This ultimately has led to the corporate-sponsored micromanagement of sexual behavior. Now, most people aren't aware of this because they're unfocused. Think about the people who control you are more focused than you are, and you're in this kind of ruffian state. You know, this unfocused, kind of sugary, kind of sugar high, kind of drug-induced, psychologically induced state that leads to unfocused behavior. It starts with women, just like prostitution, strip clubs, and the sex industry in general. Attractive women, then gay men, and attractive women deceitfully matched with with more healthy, handsome, intelligent men. The purpose of this direction of human reproductive behavior is to make the cheating oppressor's children more attractive, appealing, and intelligent than the competition. Obviously, the adverse effects induce the irreversible and dishonorable direction of humanity and the destruction of wisdom. So obviously, the adverse effects induce the irreversible and dishonorable direction of humanity and the destruction of wisdom. They cause it to happen. Okay. Ultimately, it is the forging of demon-like scum, making them more and more demonic over time. So why, in this environment especially, but ultimately naturally no matter what, does the great martial artist leader emerge? Again, let's go over some of these points and let's wrap it up. Number one, the generational mental traits, including the desire to be mentally stimulated more. That, when combined with martial arts proclivities, leads to going a different way than any group in American history. Okay, so any group we have ever even heard of in American history is going the wrong way. So the martial art leader is going to go a different way than him. And to the people who are looking for it especially, you notice him start to emerge. They're going down, right? He's going up. Working the angles to prove worthiness with a certain awareness of potential mates in the process is also a reason why he emerges, right? He's going to start working the angles, say, how can I win this, how can I one up these other people and get my rightful place that he has this kind of subconscious and unconscious awareness of. And that also includes the brain structure and function and the chemicals of the body, like testosterone, like the hippocampus, the amygdala, the striatum, the thalamus, the cerebellum, the gray matter, the temporal lobes, and so on. So also there is when we talk about imbalance, right? In the eyes of someone who is fixated on a feminized social order, he has an imbalance. And obviously he's thrown off by it. So this is part of what causes them to emerge. I suggest you go over this part. I'll go ahead and go over this part again. They that control the culture control the market. Ultimately, this leads to controlling sexual behavior. All eugenics is a scientific push to more effectively control sexual behavior through agencies of social control. This ultimately has led to the corporate-sponsored micromanagement of sexual behavior. It starts with women, just like prostitution, strip clubs, and the sex industry in general. Attractive women then gay men, while unattractive women deceitfully are matched with more healthy, handsome, intelligent men. The purpose of this direction of human reproductive behavior is to make the cheating oppressor's children more attractive, appealing, and intelligent than their competition. Obviously, the adverse effects include the irreversible and dishonorable direction of humanity and the destruction of wisdom. Ultimately, it is the forging of demon-like scum.